Today is about Luthier gadgets, brought to you by the mad scientist of templates, tools, and jigs.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm a tool junkie. You may or may not know how true that statement is, but it is true. I have been in a tool and template making mode recently, and I am absolutely, with all sincerity, humbled by how many people have been purchasing my products and have been enjoying them, and the feedback that I'm getting is really encouraging to me. So first off, I want to thank everybody that's been supporting me and supporting what I do here by purchasing my tools and templates and jigs. It is greatly appreciated. I have been crazy busy recently with all the things life has to offer. Family, being a husband, a father, a mentor to many is busy enough in a full-time job sometimes. I've been working late into the evening to try to get orders complete and orders shipped out, and that's been going well. Other days I'm flying up into the Rocky Mountains to save injured hikers. That's a different story for a different day. I'm in the process of preparing for a new semester that I'm teaching at my community college where I teach electric guitar building. And I'm building a guitar factory. That's not much going on. I have got some really cool coming soon jigs that I'm going to give you a sneak peek of today, and that's the primary purpose of today's video. But like most things that I do, there's always a story behind it, right? And about 6 months ago, my wife came to me and said, "Hey, I'm planning to go to Florida this summer for vacation. Do you want to come with me?" Okay, well, that seems like an odd question maybe to ask, but I guess what most people may not realize is my wife enjoys the beach so much and to enjoy warm vacations, sometimes even exceedingly hot area vacations, that sometimes I choose not to go, and she takes one of the daughters with her or whatever, and she goes on vacations without me. But she asked 6 months ago, and 6 months ago, I didn't feel the pressures of July and August. So I said, sure, I'll go with you. And so we decided that we were going to drive cross country, and we were going to take our dogs with us and just have a good old time. And for the most part, it was an excellent time, minus some car troubles that I'm not getting into, and some being rear-ended on Interstate 10 that I'm not going to get into. But everybody's safe, and it was a good time to get away. So what does Steve do when he goes on vacation? Well, he goes for walks with the dogs on the beach with the wife. But what he does when the sun is at its hottest is he stays inside and he works on his computer and he designs more jigs and tools and things like that. And that is what I want to show you. Now, doesn't everybody do the same thing? With help of my good friend Mike, we've also got an e-commerce website finally up and running. Now it needs a lot of work, and most of it is because I haven't taken enough pictures and come up with enough descriptions, but that's getting there, and I'll give you a sneak peek to that, although you can just go onto the website and check it out yourself. We've got lots of our products on there, but tons more that yet to be added. And then as I build the guitar factory and start then having production guitars, they'll be also located on there for sale as we begin to ramp that up this year. So while I was on vacation, I also had the opportunity to design an all-new power source that never runs out. No, wait a minute. That was Tony Stark that designed that. Forget that one. But the tools and jigs I designed, they are pretty cool, and let's go get a sneak peek on those right now. Okay, I've got 3 things that I want to show you today on the CAD. The first one was because I got a lot of interest on this little guy. This was something I made several years ago, just out of fun, really, but I think it is the nicest fret wire holder that you'll probably ever find. So several people asked me about it, and I said, what the heck? I'm on vacation. I'll design one. And so that's the first thing I'm going to show you. So if you look at this screen here, the center section is exactly the same thing as what I built for myself many years ago. It's got 24 fret holes in it to stack and organize your fret wire to become more efficient in operation. But that wasn't good enough. So what I created is what we're calling the 3-in-1 bench caddy. So it's got the fret wire holder in the center, but on one side it's got just a dish, and it'll have radius edges at the bottom, so it'll be a place where you can put parts. Then you'll be able to easily pull them out as needed. And the big thing with that is you need a place to put your parts so that you don't inadvertently, like I might have done many times before, is lay screws and parts and things like that on the area you're working, and then all of a sudden you forget about it and you put your freshly painted guitar body on top of that. That is one of the most frustrating things in the world to me. This will help you organize your space so that you don't do that. Now on the other side of there, we're going to start with excellence. But on the other side here, what I've built is a neck rest for guitars. And what it's going to have, this little lip here, it's going to have a piece of very thick, high quality leather on top of this to provide the cushioning to take care of your neck, and so that nothing would get damaged. Now, we call this 3-in-1 because it's 3 functions in one, but this is going to be built out of the same hard rock maple that I'm building the radius sanding beams out of. And so what it will have the ability to do is, if it works better for you to have these items separately, you'll take it to the chop saw and you'll chop it right at that line, and you'll chop it right at that line, and now you have all 3 functions in one. Okay, altogether it's a 24-inch piece, but separately you've got 6 inches, 12 inches, and 6 inches, and you can separate it and use as needed, or put them in the drawer when you're not using them and such like that. But certainly you'll want to keep it on the bench so that you remind yourself to always start with excellence. Another tool that I recently released was my Air Sander compatible radius block sander. And if you haven't seen those videos that either I did or the one that I did with Matt and Chris of Texas Toast, you want to check those out for sure. But it's really kind of a crazy thing, and I've learned a lot about this over the course of the time since I've come up with this idea, and I've sold a lot of them. But a couple pointers that I've gotten from people that have seen the videos and made comments and things like that would be a way to keep this locked into a center position, okay, and a center line, I should say, of the fretboard. So what I came up with was a neck hold down jig. And this thing is built, and this is going to be beefy. This is going to be all 3/4-inch Baltic birch. It's going to have UHMW, slippery, that white plastic, slippery, like almost cutting board type material, guides on either side to reduce friction in it. And these are shimmable to make the fit dead perfect. And you'll have an extension here where you put your neck in place, and then you put a clamp from the top of the neck down to the edge of your workbench, okay? And the tail end, the same thing. You put a clamp here, hold that end down, and from the sides, I have a built-in clamping mechanism. And I've got 3 knobs on either side that will basically push a clamping system that's going to have a friction surface on it that will clamp the sides of your neck, okay, as a blank to whatever taper that is. It will match with that adjustability range, and certainly it's long enough where you could do longer necks than this, but you can see how it's set up here. And so your air sander block will rest down inside of here. It will be guided to the perfect center, and all you do is hold it with nice consistent pressure, and that will help achieve that final radiusing, whether it be a fixed radius, a single radius, or a compound radius. I offer every radius you could imagine. If it's one I don't have, I will make it for you, because now that I have all my modeling set, I can change from one radius block and make it another radius on a block in a matter of a couple of minutes. So it's really easy for me to do. If you want to have yours at 12.75 radius, I can do that. So this is a hold down fixture to help make that process easier and more consistent. So this is another one of these coming soon products. I haven't made it yet. I'm in the process of setting up the CNC to actually machine out all of these parts and do some prototyping, and I expect for this to be available this month of August 2021. If you're watching this like 3 years later, then it's already out, I'm sure. Maybe on version 5 by then, who knows. Anyway, so this is one I'm really excited about. I think it's going to make that air sander be so much more effective. The last item that I've worked on while I was on my vacation was this side dot drilling jig. I did a video and I showed this recently, and I said if there were 10 people interested in it, I would make it. Well, I had 7 people interested, and since I was on vacation, it was like, okay, I might as well design it. And so I've not only designed one of these, but I designed it to be better than what mine is, which is cool because I get a new one out of the deal too. And let me show you that. All right, so on this one, it's basically the same concept as what mine was, but this is also made out of Baltic birch. It's going to be 1.5 inches wide right here, and this is another 3/4 of an inch. And it's got slots in this rest, horizontal slots and vertical slots with sliding T-nuts on the back, and that allows you to adjust this so that no matter what your taper is, no matter what your width of neck is, you can get the edge with the side dot markers perfectly parallel to the top surface, okay? And that is adjustability that will allow you to use this for almost any type of guitar neck. Basses, it probably I need to build a longer version if you ever want one for basses, and I could easily do that, but that's not part of this initial offering. And this is an acrylic template on top, and I'm going to make them in 3 different scales initially, 25.5 and the 25.0 and the 24.75. I can make others on a case-by-case basis, but it starts getting tight to do this if it's any shorter of a scale, so we'll see. But basically, this lines up with exactly where the center of the fret areas are automatically. In fact, all you have to do is mark like the first or whatever, second fret area and one of the last fret areas. This happens to be a 22 fret, but I built this template to go all the way up to 24 frets. And then it gives you the ability to line it up fore and aft to get this clear acrylic line that's scribed in here directly over top of where you want to drill the holes. And right now, I've got it designed to accept 2mm drill bits and 3mm drill bits, but I also am going to build it with this third row is to have a 3/32 drilling location also. So we'll have all 3 standard side dots available. Now, what you can't see in the CAD, because I didn't go to the fidelity to add it, is there's going to be brass tubes in every single one of these, and they are designed to be a wear point. So you're not going to drill into the acrylic and mess that up, but the brass will hold up better, but it's designed every, few years, couple years, depending upon how much you use it, for the brass sleeves to be worn out and to be replaced as necessary, right, like that. So that is the Maximum Guitar Works side dot automatic alignment drilling jig system. I think it's pretty amazing. I've actually already sold several of these on the website as a pre-order, special pricing. Let me show you the new website while we're here. It's pretty exciting, actually. I've been thinking and quasi working on this for several years, and I could never come to a conclusion. And, on what to do and how to do it. And a good friend of mine, Mike, took the bull by the horns and said, man, let me do it for you. Let me get it set up. And it is amazing that it's coming into fruition. And there's a lot more stuff we have to add, but let's just show you real quick. We've got some basic pictures of my guitar knobs and my blocks and other things that I offer. Okay, and it's got a little bit about what I'm building here, the guitar factory itself, and how to contact me. There's information down there on how to do that. But you can go in these different areas and you can look up and see the custom guitars. In the future will be production guitars, and then guitar parts will all be listed in here. And right now we've got tool, jigs, templates, tools, and jigs, and you can go into those sections and see as we populate. Every week we're trying to populate more and more of the stuff that I have available. And the cool things that we're talking about today is under the coming soon. If you click on that, you will see the 3 primary tools, and then one of them is just the add-on acrylic side dot template. If you would like multiple scales, you can just add the additional scales, and that will work with your main unit perfectly. But you've got all of those in there. You can go in and you can view. You can look at these cool little rotating imagery of what I created. And then you can come in here and see that I'm expecting the price to be $99. It may go up in the future depending upon what the time it really takes and the parts cost end up being. I'm thinking that's going to be where it's going to be at, but might be a little bit higher. But for now, we're offering as a pre-order. Okay, again, the goal is to actually have them shipping before the end of this month, but pre-order for a 10% savings, and you can actually just click and add to the cart, and it will send you to a place where you can go and buy, and you can see just about any payment option imaginable is available here. All right, so all the 3 new ones that I just talked about, those are all 3 listed on here and available for pre-order sales. This might be one of the fastest videos I've done in a long time, but it was really just to kind of show you what I've got going on and some of the exciting things. I'll tell you what, building guitars is one of the most satisfying and amazing things. But for me, also building these templates and tools and jigs and things like that makes guitar building more satisfying and less frustrating is also something that brings me a lot of satisfaction. And once again, those of you who have purchased some of my tools and jigs and templates, you're helping to support what I'm doing here on YouTube, and I appreciate that very much. Anyone else, if you've got questions, you need to order stuff, you can order stuff online directly if it's not there yet, or it's something that doesn't exist yet. I am easy to get a hold of. info@maximumguitarworks.com will get you to me, and we can create a dialogue, and if it's something that I have time to work on, I will certainly help you out the best that I can. And remember, starting with great tools and great jigs and great templates helps you to start with excellence.